Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Oh boy, we're back at it again. Oh my goodness. I've been waiting to do this for a while. It's been like, what, 3 days? 3 days I went without streaming. Dude, I've hated this. I've hated not being able to stream for a while. I've been busy working and stuff, so I'm excited that we're finally back. And hopefully I'll get things more situated so things start stabilizing a bit soon. But thank you for all sticking around with me, you know, through all these tough times. Well, not that tough, I mean, it's just little things. But other than that, yeah, that's the reason I've been gone. It's just all that stuff. And so another one to say before I forget is, if you were here a couple of streams ago, I said that I had so I was gonna say, but I'd say it later. Was that the last stream I did or the stream before last? But it was the one where I was starting to like fall asleep, which is a lot of them honestly. But I remember one of them I said I was gonna say something, but I'd say it later. What I was gonna say is, I swear to you on my life, I have like an immunity to caffeine. Because I bought like a RT44, I think it was. It was 44 ounce like Red Bull like recharger from like fucking Sonic. Great, I don't know how much Red Bull they put in it, but I chugged a good portion of it down before stream started, and I just started falling asleep during stream. Caffeine does fucking nothing to me at all, ever. Oh, I'm even go as far as say is it probably does the exact opposite of what it tends to do. But anyways, that's just a fun factoid about me and my life. I know you're so interested in all that. But what we're going to do today, we're going to actually say good enough on that that rat clicker project we had going for a couple of streams. And we're actually gonna move on to some more actual tutorials. Give me a second while I open up Steam. So I don't like opening Steam on stream because I opened my friends list. I don't want to post everybody. Where was it? Here. And yeah, I think I might, I was gonna say I might skip over one or two of them to so that I can like, focus on the more like in-depth stuff like the programming aspect. But I think we'll just fucking go ahead and do the next one anyways. Let me swap these two around and then open it up. Oh, that's not right. There we go. Hello. Hey everybody. Hi guys. So, a couple things. One, this, well, we finished this pretty much. I think this was pretty done and dusted. I need to look more into this because I think that's might be where I was fucking up when it came to the clicker we were doing. Not sure, but yeah, I was thinking before we actually worked on 3D stuff, we'd focus more on like say the state machine stuff. I don't know what any of that is for, or like what any of that is, stuff like that. But it's not I'd say screw it. It's not a bad idea. State machines, just for the sound of this, sounds like more like advanced stuff, and I'm not particularly advanced, so maybe I'll learn some stuff in these 3D tutorials that'll actually help me figure out more as to what the hell we're talking about. So I guess we'll find out. I mean, he put the playlist in this order, so we'll try it this way as it's
Hey,
made.
it's Lucky.
Oh, lucky.
Today we're going to be building a third-person controller. I've shown a lot of third-person controllers in my project videos and gotten a lot of tutorial requests, so I thought I'd finally get around to it. There are a lot of different types of third-person controllers. The most common ones are the over-the-shoulder one, like Gears of War, PUBG, Fortnite, but you also have the over-the-head one, used in World of Warcraft, Dark Souls, and similar games. I'm going to be showing you how to build both. All the assets I used in this tutorial are linked down below in the description. First I'm going to show you how to set up the controller, and then I'm going to talk about some of the problems you're going to have to face when building third-person games. Alright, let's get started. Alright, the first thing you're going to need is this assets folder. It's going to be the first link in the description. In here you'll find...
Come on, snap these. Over here, might as well. I can never remember how to fucking do this. Download zip. There we go. I can never remember how to do that, like ever. Actually, you know what? Before we do this, let's actually make a why did I pause the music? Oh, that's because we're listening to something. Wait, no, the music never paused. What? Hold on. Why is the music not playing? What is happening? No audio. It's playing, but nothing's happening. What the fuck? I get my OBS is saying nothing's playing. Why the hell is that so quiet? What? That was weird. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. We're opening up Godot, and we're gonna look at this. Launch. We're actually gonna make a new folder. I have enough folders in it as is. Don't worry about it. We'll clean this up someday. But today's not that day. Excuse me. Well, only brackets gives the brackets. Lucky. It's really sure now these other ones are from Lucky. Well, okay. I do not want my OneDrive. I hate it when things get my OneDrive. F. I'm just gonna set in projects. Probably that shovel does around so much because like a lot of these are just me testing stuff. None of these are like actual games, really. Okay, now these are here. We can actually download this. That's not what. That's not what I meant to do. Okay. Damn it! Quit clicking on that. Butterfingers, good lord. Projects. Then make a new folder called assets. What? No. There we go. Let me just turn this way down now. Let me look at the waveform. That's pretty good.
The player model, it's from Mixamo. It will be the second link in the description. And
Mixamo? What the fuck?
textures from Kenny and Al. They're great debugs, great textures. I'll link his site as the third link. Go support him, he's awesome. Alright, let's set up this.
Okay, I guess I'll do that then. Uh-oh, I had to sign up for this. Fuck, hold on a second. Nobody look. No, in fact, my camera does that weird thing whenever I do that, because I had adjusted my camera for the other version. No. Actually, well, let me try this. Hold on. I'm waiting for my password manager to unlock. It's like frozen right now. What the fuck is happening? It's acting like it's frozen, but it's not. I can still hover over stuff and it like looks like it's you're able to click on things, but what the fuck? Oh, let me just close out of it. Cancel. Hold on a second. I got to force close it or something because that's I don't know what the hell it's doing. Hold on, I know. Give me a second. Oh, that's right. It had a pop-up where I needed to put in my PIN. That's what was doing that. It's just that I didn't see it. Okay, that's what was happening. Okay. What the fuck? This is for Adobe? Hold on. Oh, fuck. Probably just wants to use a fucking fake thing for this. Hold on. I do that. Okay. Hold on. Why is it not working? Hold on. Fine. I fucking hate Adobe so much. I'm trying to hide my like. It's like asking me for my first and last name, so I'm still like trying to keep it hidden. Oh my fucking lord, asking me for puzzles. Use arrows to find the distance between the two cars. That matches the left image. What? Use the arrows to find the distance. Oh. I guess. That's how it's supposed to work. This is fucking psychopathic. Oh, guys, almost done. Send me an email. This sucks. I wish I had thought about this beforehand. Okay, do this. And put this. Paste. Okay. Did I just download this fucking what? I thought I had to download some sort of like software. But I guess I don't need to. I guess I'll continue the video. Well, actually, well, yeah, I'll continue the video, but let's actually look at
The stage.
what's happening
So
here.
we'll open up Godot.
Oh, I need to install this first too. Yes, I did the temp email. It didn't work out. Download. Right. All in one bundle. What does that mean? I don't want this. I appreciate your game assets, Kenny. I should look at these. Damn, not bad. He's got some talent to him. Look at you made Minecraft. Amazing. Alright. Yes. Perfect. I actually probably need to extract those files now I think about it. Yeah, let's open a file manager. Yeah. Here. Whoa. Okay, let me yeah, take all these, put you in there, because I don't know. That's a lot more reachable than the other one was. There we go. Okay. There's the license. Good, Creative Commons 0. Hell yeah. So there's the preview image, sample image. Let's see what else in here. So I can delete these two because I don't really need these. Or hell, I even need a license. No license for that. Yeah, I do. Okay, shit. License. This is just a link to his page. Yeah, this is just a web page. Nice little website though. So I'll give him that. Alright, guess I just get rid of these. Dark. Oh, okay, these are these. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna take this as red. Oh my gosh, that hurts to look at. Orange is TF2 textures. Hell yeah. Valve official. Vector. What is vector? I cannot see a single one of these. I do not want. No, I know kind of. I don't really know what SVG is. Seen it before, but I don't know what it is. I sure as hell don't know what a SWF is. Right. Well, in that case, back to nothing, I guess. I need to install the. I need to probably download this. Guess I'll go ahead and download the. I'll see what he needs me to download.
Create a new project. I'm gonna be using the Forward Plus renderer. I'm gonna drop this in my Godot 4 folder. Creating a new folder, calling it third person tutorial. You can name it whatever you want. Select current folder and create. So have that load up. And the first thing we're gonna do is drop in our assets folder. So drag and drop the assets folder into the file system. It's going to import all the assets. Then let's create our world. So in our scene, create a new 3D scene and go.
Hold on. I want to see if he like. I want to see where he imports the thing. I want to go ahead and get this out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find where he imports the character model. Come on now.
Folder, models, and the Mixamo base. Drop it into visuals.
Mixamo base. I don't even know. What if I do this? A baseball. No.
Forward in Godot and many game engines is Z negative. So you can see here on the top you have your Z axis, and the negative one is going to be the forward. So our player is actually facing the wrong way now. So I'll just select the base, hold down Control, and rotate 180.
Stand. Now I should figure out where the. This looks about right. I don't even know. I actually don't even know which. Standing aisle. Because I don't know what he actually fucking installed. Um. Oh, this kind of works. Let me go through this video. Fuck it.
So drag and drop the assets folder into the file system. It's going to import all the assets. Then let's create our world. So in our scene, create a new 3D scene and call this world. In here, I'm gonna right-click the world node, click add child node, and add a node 3D. This is gonna be our map. In here, I'm gonna add a box, search for box, and add the CSG.
You just add to the world node 3D, right?
And call this world. In here, I'm gonna right-click the world node, click add child node, and add a node 3D.
Okay, I got it.
This is going to be our map. In here, I'm going to add a box, search for box, and add the CSG box. We're going to be using CSG shapes because they have easy collision. I'll show you in a second. Click create, and this is going to be our floor. So I'm going to set the size to 1000 meters by 1 meter by 1000 meters here in the top right. And I'm going to move it down by grabbing this top handle, holding down shift and control until it's on the world origin, so you can see the grid lines. Alright, let's apply a texture to this. You can see the grid lines and control until it's on the world. This top handle, holding down shift and control until it's
oh yeah,
on the world origin, so you can see the grid lines. Alright, let's apply a texture to this. So I'm gonna go into my assets folder, textures, grids. I'm gonna be using a dark grid for the floor, and I'm gonna be using grid 5. So you can drag and drop that onto our box. You can see it's too big. We can change this by going into geometry on the right when selecting the box, clicking on the material, going down to UV. And enabling triplanar. This is gonna scale the texture to the size of the box, so now you can see every square is 1 meter by 1 meter.
oh looky there. Huh, that actually worked. Well, what do you know about that? They used 5, right?
This one to floor. And I'm also going to add a couple of boxes for reference. So on our map,
Yeah, that's good to me.
right click, add child node, add another box, again holding.
Roll A, baby.
Down Control and Shift and grabbing the top handle. Drag it up so it's on the floor. Let's make this one orange box. I'm gonna be using orange 9 here.
So texture 9. The orange box. Well, I tell you, TF2.
Drop it on there. Oh, grab it and let's move it up to the side a little. Right there. Rotate it. These are just for reference, so the scene looks a little more interesting. Let's click this box and hit Control T to duplicate it. And let's grab this little square right here and move it over. Let's make this one a little bigger. 2 by 2 by 2. Hold down Control and Shift and drag it up.
2.
Let's set a different material for this one. So in Geometry, Material Override, click the little refresh
Geometry, material, right.
icon. Let's make this one purple.
Did we have to do that? Couldn't we just have gone purple? And then
I'll use purple 9.
purple 9. I think that should just override it outright. Yeah, like that. We didn't even have to do that. Hey, whatever version he's doing, you had to actually replace it. But at least not here. Which was nice.
I am going to be enabling triplanar for this one. So click on the material again, UV1, enable triplanar.
What? 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 Hold on.
So click on the material again.
That's under UV1. So weird. I don't understand triplanar.
UV1, enable triplanar.
At least not yet.
And let's do one more box. So click on the box, Control D to duplicate. Let's move it over here, rotate it a little again. Go into geometry, refresh the material. Let's make this one green. Green 9.
Yeah, I guess we're doing triplanar again.
Drop it onto the box. Click the material, UV, enable triplanar. And I'll make this one 3 by 3 by 3.
Yeah. Why does that look so weird? Anyone else see that? It looked like it was like tilted, but it wasn't. What the fuck? Okay, there's geometry to this. EV1 Trifliner. Okay.
And Control Shift, drag it up. So now we got a couple of boxes, so our scene looks a little interesting. Let's rename these to just box, and add a 2 at the end, box. And then for all of these, so click the floor. Or shift click the last box, enable collisions, so our player can collide with them. Next I want to make the environment a little more interesting. And an environment is basically the lighting and the fog and the post-processing effects. You can really easily add one by clicking these 3 dots at the top and click add environment to scene.
Oh.
We'll also add this sunlight. So click the 3 dots, add sun to scene, and now I'm going to click on my world environment. On the top right.
Oh, cool. Okay, so back when I didn't have these in here, they were just here. Those are just previews. But now that I actually made them things, they're actually controllable.
Environment. And here we can change some settings.
That's so weird. Sun but no shadow. Well, kind of these are still darker, but you know what I mean. Well, sun no environment, no sun. Yankee with no brim.
I'm going to be enabling the new global illumination.
Okay. What? Oh. Oh, well. Oh, baby. Hot dog. All right. I should need to get calculated out too. Huh, okay.
Which is CGFGI. Enable that. And you can see you get some nice shadows coming in. I'll also enable some fog. So in the bottom click fog.
Well, that's scary.
Enable.
I'm gonna adjust this.
I'm gonna turn down the density to 0.005. I'm gonna change the light to white. I'm actually gonna turn down the intensity a little more. So it's like that.
Oh. I was thinking it was gonna do that. I wasn't sure though. Where the hell?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, let's get into the player. I'll first set up
Curious.
some file organization.
I want to see something. Oh, it's ominous. Oh, baby. There we go.
So in our file system, right click, new folder. Call it scenes. This will contain all our scenes, and create a new folder. Scripts.
New folder. Okay. Scenes. Scripts.
Which will contain all our scripts. Now we can save this world scene. Control S. Scenes. And I'll call it main. And in the scenes folder, I'll create a new scene and call
Okay. Main.
it player.
What the
And
hell
in the
is
scenes
this?
folder, I'll create a new scene and call it
Right, new scene.
player. The root type of the player is going to be character body. So we'll click on this little icon next to root type. Search for character body 3D. Click OK. And it's directly giving us an error. That's because it needs a collision shape. So let's add this. Right click the player node, add child node, collision shape 3D. And I'm going to be using a cylinder. So collision shape in the top right in shape. Click.
So
Cylinder, and the default size is actually fine. It's 2 meters in height and 0.5 meter in radius. And again, we'll hold down Control and Shift and drag up the collision shape. So it's nice and on the origin. I'm going to be adding an empty to the player. So right click player, add child node, node 3D.
okay.
This is going to be our visuals. So I'm going to go visuals, and in here we're going to drop the model. So go into your assets folder, models.
Wouldn't that be a character sprite 3D? Yeah. Why the fuck is it not sprite 3D?
And the mixable base. Drop it into visuals. Forward.
Let me go through this real quick. We'll see what I'm doing in a second. I'm getting an aggregate of responses here. Not a single person. It's Mixamo, not Maximo. Who don't know how to move I kind of understand what I was talking about. Huh. Animations. I guess I just use this. I don't know. I don't know what the hell you used. It didn't list anywhere. Oh shit. Where'd she go? There she is. What do you think you're doing, huh? Go away from me like that. Is this what he was wanting me to upload? Because we need a full range of movements. It's gonna probably have to be this, because like a whole pack. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and download this, see what we see what it's called, see what we get out of this. Oh man. Leave it there. Folder. 7-zip. Right here. Yeah, I just don't see anything called base. I'm so confused about this. Yeah, I never list anything in here either. Am I going crazy? Could just scroll down some more. Alright, that's literally all of them. I got a few more to go through. Multiple animations in one FBX file from there. We're still there for some reason. So I guess there's been like an update or something to it since then. That are just the fucking link is just perma broken for some reason. I don't really know past that, honestly. Oh my gosh. Well, that's not right. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. Got base. With no. Yeah, I guess the links are just broken. Because this actually. Yeah, I don't know where the hell this is supposed to take me. Well,
in Godot and many drop it into visuals. Forward in Godot and many game engines is Z negative.
let me just do the fucking idle. I was looking at earlier. Which one is the most likely? What is like an unmoving idle, I believe. Are they moving? Oh, I can't tell. I move slightly. The difference here. Is there a difference? There's a lot more breathing. Wait, shift idle. Okay. I'll see this one, I guess. Hold on a second. I was doing this, right? I downloaded this. It doesn't come with the skin. That's why. I noticed that it said, asked if I should, it wanted me to do this on the fucking, let me go in here. Let me just delete this. I'm going to add a new one called animations. Download. Okay, save this. Here, go back to this, do idle again. Then download with scan, because that's different if I do the pack. Okay.
So you can see here on the top you have your z-axis and the negative one.
Now if I take the Oh, like this is oxygen. Unzip the other one. Why? Hold on. I can't even set default pose. Yeah, let's load the current one. Where the fuck's the camera? I don't have a camera. Yeah, no, hold on. Fuck. Project settings. Okay, main scene. I need it to be this one. No, if I play it. Wowza. That's because there's no fucking camera, I think. So let me add a 3D camera. That's basically dead on. But isn't it's very, very close. Honestly, it's fucking awesome. Very nice. Alright, now let me actually add in the transform position. Station. Fix that. Okay. I don't know if I'm able to do this.
Forward. So our player is actually facing the wrong way now. So I'll just select the base.
I just thought about something. Oh, let me. Sorry, I had to cough. I just realized it said like 2023 or something. Let me do 3D. I'm gonna need this later. Or third person. Damn it. He hasn't made a new one since. That kind of sucks. I need to like skim through this.
Pack.
How did I mute this? I don't know.
Swears and cylinders. I kept in mind when making the UV islands, it's very easy to spot. Now I talked a lot about painting in my last video too, so definitely check that out if you're interested, but I went with a very similar approach. Painted this little model in Blender for Godot.
That's nice.
I'll definitely keep doing this, it's so much fun. I've been...
Yeah.
Hold on.
But yeah, if I can't get this to work, I think I'll just skip ahead to the next one.
180 here in the top, here in the bottom left you could see the degrees. So that looks about right. Let's actually scale down the collision shape a little bit. I'll make it 0.3 in radius. Yeah, that's a little better. Now let's add our camera to this.
Because it's either T-posing or it doesn't have a model at all.
I'll show you why in a second. But for now, let's just add a Node 3D to player. Call this.
And I could fix it. It's just.
I'm gonna move this up. this is going to be the rotation point of the camera. So when you move around your mouse.
You know what? I have an idea. We aren't going to use a player model at all. You heard me right. We're doing something a little different. So what I'm gonna do, instead of all this nonsense, I'll keep this. I'm gonna change its shape. For you see, I'm turning this. The fuck did I just turn that into? I'm gonna turn this. Delete. Into a what's it called? A box. I fucking guess. Alright. Why the fuck not? Is it just not called? Why is it? Why wouldn't it be just called a fucking box? There you go. That's our character right there. You don't like him? Too bad. We're gonna fiddle with it's fuck, I thought I could change the color. Standard material. Transform. Toughness, metallic. You know, maybe? Oh, there you go. Make them red. Like a nice shade of red. Like dark red. There you go. That's our player.
On what point the camera is gonna rotate. And I'm gonna it's just
Okay, so what is the
so
okay, so they just added a node called visuals. I don't know why they did that, but we'll do it anyways, just to be certain we're on the same page here. Sure.
So that looks about right. Let's actually scale down the collision shape a little bit. I'll make it 0.3 in radius. Yeah, that's a little better. Now let's add our camera to this. For this we're gonna need a camera mount. I'll show you why in a second, but for now let's just add a Node 3D to player. Call this camera mount.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why they're doing this, but we'll stick with it.
I'm gonna move this up. This is gonna be the rotation point of the camera. So when you move around your mouse, on what point the camera is gonna rotate. And I'm gonna put it right in her chest.
Okay. Okay.
This camera mount. I'm gonna move this up. This is gonna be the rotation point of the camera. So when you move around your mouse, on what point the camera is gonna rotate. And I'm gonna put it right in her chest. Yeah, like that.
Why is there no like anything
And
for
I'll
this?
add the camera. So now you can decide how you want your camera to look. You can click preview here in the top left to see what it's gonna see. So this one is gonna be too much, in my opinion, it's going to be too much behind her, so she's blocking the scene. So I'm going to move it up a little. This one is kind of like World of Warcraft, like over the head, a wide view. Camera. So now you can decide how you want your camera to look.
So camera. I assume he just did that as like a place for it to anchor to, essentially. Why do I outright not have the boxes for any of this? What? There it goes. What the fuck? I mean, this one's fine now, but this, I didn't have this. Hold on. Oh yeah, I guess.
You can click preview here in the top left to see what it's going to see. So this one is going to be too much, in my opinion, it's going to be too much behind her, so she's blocking the scene. So I'm going to move it up a little. This one is kind of like World of Warcraft, like over the head, a wide view. I'm going to move it up to the side a little. Preview again. Move it in. Yeah, I like it more like that. Like PUBG, Fortnite. Over the shoulder.
This is my version of over the shoulder.
Now, if you grab this camera mount and you rotate it,
Let me. Hell yeah. Actually, maybe let's slow it down a bit more. And then there we go. That's a gamer angle if I've ever seen one.
Rotate it around. You can see what I meant with the rotation points. If you grab this camera mount and you rotate it around, you can see what I meant with the rotation points, and up and down. And we're going to want to do this with our mouse in game. So let's set this up. I'll quickly save this scene. And to our player controller, I'm going to add a script and drop it in our scripts folder. Player is fine. And we want this template enabled, the basic movement.
Okay. Okay. Let me put this in the script folder. Okay.
Create. And now let's save this. The template adds some basic logic for moving and jumping, which is really nice. We can use this. Right now it's using the arrow keys, but we're going to change them.
I'm going to try this out now. That doesn't mean it. Okay, my bad. Right, let's do fucking anything right now.
In our main scene. So in the tab here, go back to main, 3D, click the world right there, and drag and drop in our player. And now we can quickly test this. So you can click the play icon.
That's exactly what I was going to do. Wow, you're so smart.
So
better.
top right, select current. And now we
Yes, let's see. Very nice. Except for one thing, I don't like cameras that now because it's kind of stupid. That's what I did. Ah. All right, so. Oops.
you move with the arrow keys. You can see you can already move around your player. And it collides with the boxes.
Very nice, very nice.
So, that's a very nice start. Let's set up the logic. Alright, let's start with the mouse movement. So we'll go into our script, into our player script, and we'll first capture the mouse. It means the mouse stays within the window and doesn't move and isn't shown. So we'll go func underscore ready. This thing.
Get out of here. All right. Okay.
Function is run when the player is ready, so at the start. We'll go input dot mouse mode equals input dot mouse mode captured.
Inputs dot mouse mode equals input dot captured. Hold on. Controls the mouse mode. Amazing. Captures the mouse. The mouse will be hidden and its position locked at the center of the window. Manager's window. Note if you want to process in this mode, you need to use input the bit mouse motion dot relative.
And now we run this. You can see our mouse is no longer visible and it isn't moving outside the screen.
Let's save it up. Play it. I'm trying to like aggressively move my mouse around, see how. Yeah, that sucker ain't going nowhere. That is like intensely like oh shit, how do I? Okay, it was 8. I didn't know how to close it now. It was fine. We're fine.
Alt tab and stop this. And now let's
What's
get the mouse
F8?
motion. So we'll go func underscore input event.
Okay. Underscore input.
Like this. And in here we're going to check if the input is a mouse movement. So go if event is input event mouse motion, Then we're gonna rotate our player on the y-axis for the x motion. So we'll go rotate underscore y, and we want these angles in radians and not in degrees. So we'll go degrees to radians with this function, and we'll get our event relative x. So this is our mouse movement on the x-axis. With this function we're gonna convert this from degrees to radians, and then we're gonna rotate our player by the
Let's do that again.
event relative x. So this is our mouse movement on the x-axis. With this function we're gonna convert this from degrees to radians, and then we're gonna rotate our player by those degrees. We're converting to radiant because the rotate function takes radians, but if we just put in 1 radian per pixel, we're gonna spin out of control. So 1 degree is better, and it's easier to adjust for mouse sensitivity.
Well, let's do the explanation one more time.
If we just put in 1 radian per pixel, we're gonna spin out of control. So once, but we're converting to radiant because the rotate function takes radians, but if we just put in 1 radian per pixel, we're gonna spin out of control. So 1 degree is better,
Got it.
and it's easier to adjust for mouse sensitivity. So let's run this now. And now you can see we can look around. It's too fast and it's inverted. So we'll go back in here and we'll just...
Is it inverted? Let's try it out. It is inverted. Fuck. That is weird. Okay.
Add a minus in front of this, like that, and then we'll at the top variable sense horizontal.
Right.
Equals 0.
Pre-washed. There you go.
5. And then we can go inside of the degrees to radian function, multiply our x motion by sense horizontal.
By SNES. Pretty good, I think.
It's going to be our mouse sensitivity on the horizontal axis. Let's run it again. Now it's the right way around and a little slower, like that. Now let's do our y-axis, so up and down. I'll go into the player scene, and we're not going to be rotating the whole player for the y, because then we just clip into the floor. We're going to use this camera mount, which we added. So let's go into our script, click and drag the camera mount into the code and holding down Control. This way Godot automatically creates a variable for the camera mount. Then we'll go in here. And we'll rotate X, again degrees to radians, event dot relative Y this time because we want up and down, and we're going to be wanting to rotate the camera mounts. So in front of this we'll add camera mount dot Let's run it.
How do I do it without this? I'm curious about something. Oh, sweet God Almighty. Okay, that's not. That's, yep, that is. Oh, baby. Well, like, I don't know what I did wrong. God, this would be a nightmare game. This is a rage game ever. Ever seen one? I don't even know how to control this. It's like changes constantly. Wait, what the fuck? Ready? Huh? Huh? I'm moving when I do that. I do. Okay. There we go. What the fuck? So I capitalized something. Whoopsie daisy. Oh. Okay, I need to do a negative thing on that. Oh my gosh, stop. I just stop it once it hits like this point and this point or what have you. Or at least when it hit close to the ground, maybe even. Yeah.
And now we can look up and down. It's inverted again. So I'm gonna add a minus again. And I'm also gonna create a sensitivity variable for the vertical. So I'll just copy it.
Oh, okay. That's a lot better.
And paste the horizontal and rename these to vertical. And again, we'll multiply the mouse movement by the sensitivity. And now this is right. I can move up and down, left and right. It's still way too strong. I'm actually gonna export these vars, and what that means is that they'll show up as variables in the editor, so we can just adjust them way easier. So in front of this, I'm gonna go add export. We'll do the same here.
Okay. Why are these like blue while this isn't? Okay.
And now when we go into our main scene in 3D,
What the fuck?
loading update, you can see we have the variables here.
That's weird.
So we can tweak them really easily. I'll set them a little lower. It feels way nicer. Now, let's change the arrow keys to the WASD keys. In here you can see the input direction is coming from the UI left, UI right, UI up, UI down, which are the arrow keys. So we'll add our own inputs. We do this by going into project settings, input map, and here in add new we're going to type the name of our inputs. So we'll go forward, backward,
Excuse me. Fix that. Shit, this should be left and right. Hold on. Up and down. What the fuck am I talking about? There we go.
left and right, and then by clicking the plus and pressing the button we want, so W, backward, D or S, left, A, right, D. Close that out. And now in here we can swap these for left,
forward. Oh, I know. What was that? Three, left, right, up, down. Left. Right. Third. Backward. Hell yeah. You know what I want to do actually? I'll take my character, give him a texture of the red texture. What does that look like? This is the same thing. Why is this not? Why is this not making the texture? I guess put the geometry node or the geometry part of it. That's better. Sick. The scenario, I understand. There we go. This QP is like 1 by 1, right? For certain, yeah. It works out. You really think about it. Hell yeah. Yay. There we go.
Right. Forward. Backward. And now when we run this, we can move around our player and look around. Now, of course, she doesn't have any animations yet. So we'll add those. To add the animations, go into visuals, the Mixamo base, you're gonna right click it and make local. This will expose the animation player, which we'll need. Now we're gonna drag and drop the animation player into the code to access.
So I'm gonna go ahead and skip through this since I don't need animation work with what I'm doing right now.
Walking. Set on 8. You're gonna have to tweak this depending on your animations, but if you're using the same one, it's gonna be somewhere around 3. Alright. A problem we're having now is when we move sideways.
Fuck, I wish I had like a better pair of reference on how to do
But
this.
you can see this other button.
If I like got animations to somewhere else, I'd be able to figure this out, but
As you're
I
looking
hate that
around,
this tutorial is like kind of broken right now.
to not have it like this, to have the character which looks good event start control running 3.0 walking speed inputs action log false when we're walking and we're running when we're running. You can see the animations start and stop abruptly. That's because there's no blend time set. A blend time is basically the time it takes for animations to transition. It's really easy to set up though. So just go into our animation player.
I wondered
player
about this.
scene, and down here in playback options, you can set the default blend time and we'll set it to 0.2 seconds. And now if we run it again, you can see there's a little transition between animations. Looks much smoother.
Holy shit! Actually, like automatically tweaks the animations. That's pretty insane.
Alright, I'll also add the kicking animation.
Well, yeah,
This
I'm
one
talking about
will
not exactly tweening, but
down
you
here.
know what I mean.
Exclamation. Will also not rotate. Animation. The weakness. But in here, there's logic for not stopping animation. So when an animation player is playing, if the animation player is not playing, so we're done with kicking or any other animation, or okay. And during the kick, we cannot move our player or slide around boxes. There's a lot more. So that's our basic third-person controller set.
Hell yeah!
There's a lot more you can do with this. I have a project where I build a shooter with this. I'll show some footage now. And of course, there's a million things you can do with a third-person controller. If you want to see something more specific,
I'm happy I was
specific
at least able to
features,
get the
more specific game type using its
the camera thing
third-person
down
controller, or
somewhat.
any other feature you might want to add, let me know. I'm always making tutorials, so I'll be glad to do one. So yeah, I hope you learned something. If you make something awesome, link me.
Oof.
I'd love to see it. Alright, thank you.
All right.
So in this video, I'll be showing probably the easiest way that I found to get animations working in Godot. So to get the animations, I'll just be using Mixamo, but you can use any animation library that there is out there. And we're just gonna look up the animations that I want. Over here, I want like a fast run and a slow run animations. And I'm gonna make sure to download it also without the skin, so it doesn't download the character with it. I'll be downloading them using the FBX format, and then we're gonna import it into Blender. So over here we have Blender.
What is bro waffling on about?
And then we're gonna hit import
Kidding.
and FBX. You find the files
I don't even know what this
select
means.
all of them, and then I'm just gonna check automatic bone orientation over here, and then we just click import. So we now have two different armatures or skeletons, which are pretty much the two animations that I downloaded.
Dude's
And
UI
what we're
looks
trying to
fucking
do
awesome.
is combine the two animations. So now creating a new window from the bottom left, we're gonna switch the mode to Dope Sheet, and then we want to change it from Dope Sheet to Action Editor. Now on our timeline, we want to change it from timeline to non-linear animation so we can view the animations that we have. Now I'm just gonna rename the animations
really like how that
to
looks.
Fast Run and the other animation to Idle. I'm just gonna rename one of our armatures to main, so that's our main armature we use. And then I'm gonna go to the animations and hit push down on that animation on the main armature. And then we want to select our other animation in the action editor. And then we see that it appears underneath that armature again, and we just hit push down as well. So now we can see that our main armature has both of the animations that we want on it. So with that, we can now delete the other armature.
By the way, the reason I'm not doing anything right now, I'm not entirely sure what this is, so I'm just kind of watching and seeing what it is.
Since it's no longer needed. So now we can see that we can use either the idle animation or the fast run animation. Then we can just go over and export it so we can bring it over in Godot, and the best format is probably GLB or GLTF. And then we just go ahead and click export. Now over here we have our Godot project open. If we open up the animations, we can see that we have both the idle and the fast run animation. So we're just gonna hit on our skeleton 3D, and then we're gonna want to create a new bone map. Then we click on the bone map, and then we just create a new skeleton humanoid. We can see that all our bones have been mapped correctly, but sometimes they may not be automatically correct all the time, so you might need to do them yourselves. And then we just go ahead and click re-import. Now we're just gonna create a new inherited scene, and then we're gonna select our animation player, and then we're just gonna go ahead and click on animation and then hit manage animations. Now we have our animations, and what we're trying to do is we're gonna try to save these animations locally. So I'm just gonna go ahead and rename it to anim pack 1. And to make them local, we're gonna have to first make it all unique, and then we just hit save as, and we can name it to what we want. Now we can go ahead and close it since we won't be needing it anymore. Now I'm going to go ahead and create a new node for our other character that we want to have the animations for. And then I'm just going to head back to Mixamo and use one of the models as that character that we want. So now with our model, I'm just going to give it a default animation of a T-pose. And then I'm just going to hit download with the model since that's the model we want to use. So skipping a little bit ahead, I just imported the model into Blender so I can just export it as a GLB back into Godot. Now back in Godot, we're going to open that new character that we just imported, and we're just going to go ahead and click on Skeleton 3D, and we're going to do the same thing and create a bone map. Now creating the bone map, we do the same thing again, and we're going to create a skeleton humanoid, and we can see that the bones are already correctly mapped. Now I'm just going to go over to the animation player and just hit skip import so it doesn't import as well. So now let's drag our character into the scene, and now we got our character doing that default pose. And then what we want to do now is underneath it create an animation player node as the child, and make sure that we set the root node to that character. Now in the animation player, we're gonna go ahead and click on animations and manage animations, and then we're just gonna hit load library. We're gonna go ahead and load that animations that we saved before earlier, and then we're just gonna make sure that we make it as unique. Otherwise, if we have the same animations on other characters, they will be like moving at the same time. And with that, we can see that the character is immediately now in pose for that animation. And we can see that our animation's all perfectly working and running, and we can use the other idle animation at the same time too. So we can use this on any other character as well, and it's as simple as that is importing it with other characters.
Okay, well that's actually would have been useful for earlier.
To the channel. Today we'll be making
That would have been useful for like when I was floundering with trying to actually get that set up. Shit. Oh, whatever. What's this?
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be making a complete first-person character controller from scratch with a bunch of features to enhance the game feel, also known as game juice. These features will include head bob, inertia, and movement FOV change. So let's dive right in. We're going to create a new 3D scene and call it world. For our ground, we're going to use...
Alright, let's save this here. Create a new, no. Project, put to project list. So all we need to do now is make another new project. And let's see here. Legion Games. First person Enter to no. There we go. Decent enough. Let's see here.
Use a node called CSG box, which is basically a simple mesh combined with
Wow.
a collision shape that's good for prototyping. Our character is going to use...
Okay. And then
use a node called character body 3D. We're going to add a mesh to it by choosing the bean shape and the mesh drop
brother,
down.
calm the fuck down.
For our ground, we're going to use a node called CSG box, which is basically a simple mesh.
What the fuck is happening? That's 1. If I hit 2, this starts happening. 3's this. 1, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. This is 5. 6 is this. 7, 1, and 3. So 1 is the X and no. Okay, so 1 is Z, 3 is X, 7 is Y. That's what I'm getting from this. But why? I think that's because it's on the keyboard. It looks like the I am doing some shit that is like completely out of like outside the realm of what we were just doing. But I think it's because since the if I were to take a guess. Seven. I'd say that it's because 1 is Z. Or so this would be Z right here. 3 is X. So that's X right there. And then 7 is Y. So if you pay attention here, it kind of ends up becoming kind of like this. Right? And see, it's just like this up here. Except kind of not really. I don't know. I think that's what they were going for. Why is this? Am I going crazy or does this look weird to anyone else? This looks wrong. It almost feels like, if you guys ever play Control, it kind of feels like that giant statue in the, like that giant statue in the middle of the thing where it looks like you can see more than 2 sides at a given time. It's a triangle, like a pyramid hanging down from the ceiling, but you swear you can see it like 3 different sides at a time, but no matter how you angle it, you can't. It's like it fucks with your brain. This is what this is doing to me right now. How do I get my camera back to like be like fucking actual, like an actual human display? What the fuck is happening? Am I going insane? There it is. Perspective. Fuck. God. Orthogonal? What happens if I do this? Okay, so that's okay. So it had did that because auto orthogonal was enabled. So I was doing that. Okay, I don't know why it was locked to it though. That was weird. But anyways. Yes, this is negative X and this is negative Y, so I'm trying to flip this around in my head for this to make sense. But it doesn't really make sense. Do you see that this is laid out? If I did it this way, this would be negative Y. Flips it around, this would have to be negative X. Positive Y. So this is... I'm just speaking words. Ignore me. I'm becoming delusional as this fucking goes on for. But, anyways. There's 0.002. Alright.
Combined with a collision shape that's good for prototyping. Our
What? There we go. Okay, Alt. So
character box, which is basically a simple mesh combined with a collision shape that's good for prototyping. Our
that was like about 6x6, I think. Go. What the fuck did I just... What?
character is
Oh,
going
that
to
was...
use a node called
That was a
character
video. It just had a
body
weird
3D. We're
frame
going to
there.
add a mesh to it by choosing the bean shape and the mesh dropdown. We're
The fuck? Oh, that was just the visual effect he added. Character by 2D. And then mesh. Okay, these are completely separate things.
Going to create a collision shape from the mesh to it by choosing the bean
Yeah, that
shape
was
and
just
the
a
mesh
visual thing
drop
he
down.
added
We're
in
going to
post.
create a collision shape from the mesh by going to this menu and selecting create simplified
Oh yeah.
convex collision sibling. If we turn off the visibility on the mesh, select and the mesh drop down. We're going to create a collision shape from the mesh by going to this menu and selecting create simplified convex collision.
Yeah, that's about right.
Sibling. If we turn off the visibility on the mesh, we can see that we end up with this disheveled bean that has less vertices than the original, which is good for performance. Let's add a script to our bean. Character bodies get a default code template with movement and jumps implemented, which works well for both first-person and third-person controllers. In order for the lighting to work properly in our game, let's add a world environment and a directional light to imitate the sun to our scene tree. Let's take a closer look at
Oh yeah.
our bean. The last bit of setup we need to do is adding a camera to him and adding it as a child of a node 3D, which will act as our pivot. If we don't have one and try to rotate the camera, we get some very janky results. If you're curious as to why this happens, I will link to a page in the Godot
If
documentation.
you were,
that
I saw
explains
him
it really
before when
well
we were
and also
looking
has a
around on
code
the
snippet that would let us do it without a pivot.
fucking documentation.
If we don't have to him and adding it as a child of a node 3D, which will act as our pivot.
Okay.
If we don't have one and try to rotate the camera, we get some very janky results. If you're curious as to why this happens, I will link to a page in the Godot documentation that explains it really well and also has a code snippet that would let us do it without a pivot. Now if we start up our game,
Wow,
we
I
are
did not
able to
look
move
at that.
around and even jump out of the box, but we can't look around just yet. So let's get cracking on our code. We have the speed and
Oh fuck. What?
jump.
There we go. That should fix it. Yeah.
Velocity constants here. The gravity variable is taken from the default project settings, which is 9.8. Screw that, it's now 9.8. In the physics process, we handle our jump. When the player presses
is Doug
space,
doing
we
here?
set the velocity so we're going up, and then every
Oh, that's
tick
what he's
we
doing
lower
there.
this velocity if we are not on the floor. From the default, we have the speed and jump velocity constants here. The gravity variable is taken from the default project settings, which is 9.8. Screw that, it's now 9.8. And
Okay. Wow, this is very different from what I have right now. This was 2 years ago. I explain why.
In the
I
physics
suppose it's not
process,
that
we
bad.
handle
Doesn't matter that much anyways.
When the player presses space, we set the velocity so we're going up, and then every tick we lower this velocity if we are not on the floor until the velocity is in the negatives and we are going down. At the end of each tick, the move and slide function is called, which moves around our character depending on this velocity vector and then changes the velocity depending on collisions. So when we're about to land, our y velocity is negative 4.5, and then bam, it's 0. And it stays at 0 because we are now on the floor and are no longer changing it. This last code block takes care of movement on the floor. It tells us that we should replace the default UI actions with our own, which we will do in a second. Here we get a vector 2 movement vector from the inputs and change it to a vector 3 so we can multiply by where our character is facing, which gives us this movement direction vector. If it's non-zero, which means that we pressed a button, we set the velocity components by multiplying the direction vector by our speed. This next part has a bit of a mistake in it. The intention here was to add friction and slow the player down gradually, but as this thread on the Godot GitHub suggests, it just sets the velocity to 0 instantaneously. So let's make that clear in the code. The next step is adding our own
Okay,
input.
I'm
We can
gonna
do
take
this
a
by
pause on that, and we're gonna pick this up tomorrow. He's going so fucking fast. I'm just getting confused about stuff. But yeah, we're back to it. I hope I can keep the streak going tomorrow too. So yeah, hopefully we can. Hopefully we get something going. Something more going tomorrow. I am like little things like this thing, like stuff about the these fucking boxes. I can definitely use these a lot to help me prototype like 3D stuff and everything. So those are nice. Also, I learned how to mess with their materials a bit more, which is useful. I was wondering how you could add a texture to these things. Oh, actually, there's something I want to try before we go. Put the project list. Yeah, whatever.
negatives and
Open up. So I was wondering what would happen if I use this. Holy shit, that just works. Fuck yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, I remember I had actually my free time I tested out Godot on my phone. I tried to fuck around with this box thing, but I could not for the life of me figure out how to add a texture to it. Now I know. I just needed to put it in the materials folder on the, well, not this folder, but the, you know, the material property for it. So anyways, all right, well, I'm happy I figured that out now. So anyways, that's it for me tonight. Thank you all for watching once again, and I'll see you all again. Uh-oh, there we go. I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.